Alright, so this is the fourth video, and what we're doing here is we're understanding our ICP, okay? What we realized in the last video is that we have people sitting in the current state that we're trying to reach with our ads, and these same people have a desired state. Now, all of these people with a similar current state is your ICP, and so obviously, if we want to be able to reach them and get them to buy our offer and get to their desired state through our offer, we need to understand what these people are like. What does their current state look like, and what does their desired state look like? Fully understanding these people is going to give us a very good understanding of our mass market desire, and our mass market desire is the most important thing that needs to shine through in our ad. If we can tap into their desire with our ad, then we can catch their attention, we can get them to watch the full ad, we can get them into our funnel, okay? We talked about this before. What is current state and desired state comprised of? Well, it's comprised of perceived reality, felt experience, and action loops. And so when we go ahead and we try to understand our ICP, we're going to break it down into perceived reality, felt experience, and action loops. Now, the process of understanding our ICP, many marketers in the past have taken months to do, weeks to do, if not at least multiple days to do. With this process here, I don't want to get you into spending a bunch of time trying to research. I want you to get results with this framework, and honestly, with most of the things that I teach you in here, you'll be perfectly fine with running new ads on even not that much of a breakdown of understanding your ICP. You'll still do very well. So I'm going to show you what can get you an understanding of your ICP in basically like 20-30 minutes, okay? So that's super powerful. Let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to use AI because these are tools that people didn't have in the past and are obviously very good. So we're going to use this right here as the prompt for ChatGPT. Use this process to break down my ICP into 3 categories and 9 subcategories. Please create a full report that separates my prospect's current state and desired state so that I can understand both clearly. Put that in as the prompt. Underneath of that, in the text box, we're going to put in our offer statement, and we're going to put in who that we're actually looking to help. So this is our rough definition of basically who is experiencing these states, okay? This came, offer statement and who, this came from a couple videos back, okay? So we're going to take that, paste it in. Be as specific as you can with this information. We're going to turn on deep research, and we're going to attach the ICP process doc. This right here you can take, you can attach it, and then with deep research, ChatGPT is likely going to ask you a couple extra questions to clarify what you're looking to do. Answer those as best you can, and then go ahead and click enter. This process here is going to take about 10-20 minutes. That's typically what I see. And the best results for this process is typically using sites like Reddit to try to pull out information on our ICP. Now, what you're going to end up getting is going to look something like this. A full breakdown of your ICP, and it's broken down into 9 subcategories, and all of these subcategories are built to understand what exactly is happening in this person's mind at all times when they are sitting in their current state and what they're thinking about and what they want. First thing is core identity. Second thing is belief stack, what kind of beliefs that they have. Beliefs and biases is the next. Voice of the customer, exactly what kind of voice and words that they're using. Understand pain and roadblocks. Understand state shift, the current state and the state that they want to get to. Trigger moments, these are things that basically irk them, things that they experience on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that basically get them to want to take action on that desire. Goals and desires, and identity shift is the last thing there. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to read through this full document. It won't take you too long to get through, but this document is going to give us a much better understanding of what our mass market desire is, and this is really important when we go ahead and make ads. Even if you were to do nothing else in this framework, if you just have a better understanding of what that mass market desire is, your ads are already going to perform better. Just because subconsciously, sitting in the back of your mind, you're making decisions based on what people actually want. Now, we're going to keep going with this. Next, we're going to use a ChatGPT prompt. With the information above, can you summarize this into 1, perceived reality, 2, felt experience, 3, action loops for current and desired state? So I can understand the ICP that I'm dealing with, where they are now and where they want to go. This is basically going to do a short summary of the document that you used before, just so that you have it, and you can read through that as well to pick up anything that you might have missed. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to ask what are the specific problems and pain points my customers are facing. It'll give a summary of the problems and pain points, and you'll keep that document as well. Go ahead and list the top 5 problems now. And keep in mind, the example that I used was a automated remote cleaning business. So that is the full breakdown that I got for understanding the ICP that would be interested in an automated remote cleaning business. And an automated remote cleaning business is basically a business that in the offer is built out for people that are in 9-to-5 jobs, that are looking to leave their 9-to-5 and own their own business or make some side income from their 9-to-5. And this seems to be a very simple, believable, understandable business model that anyone can do. And so there's higher believability in this type of offer that people can actually do it because it's just cleaning. And people can do it from home on their phone. So that is the business, just as the example, and I bring that up because as we go through this process, you'll see a lot of examples here, and I just want you to understand where those are coming from and why they are the way that they are. So now that we've broken down, this was an example from the offer. These are the top 5 problems that the ICP was facing that I got from the document there, just as an example. Now we're going to go into our second attempt at understanding the desire statement. So as we remember, when we try to understand the mass market desire, it's broken down into the outcome, emotional driver, and identity. What external results are they chasing? What do they feel they're missing? And who do they want to become? We're going to break each of these down into the top 5 things that we can see, numbered 1 to 5, okay? So this is the most important outcome that they're looking to achieve, is to quit their 9-to-5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Moving on to emotional drivers. It's the most important emotion that we can pull out of our ICP. And then to identity, they want to become a real entrepreneur and not an employee, okay? The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna use mass desire filters. These are the 7 main things that people want when they're looking at achieving that mass market desire, okay? And so here they are listed out: escape, freedom, security, validation, status, control, and pride. These are the major things that people want, and it can show up in different forms, in different states, in the desired state. Simply, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pick the top few that align based on the breakdown that we got from AI, right? So what I do know from this breakdown here is definitely escaping their 9-to-5 was very important and high. I just want to quit my job. Words like that was very frequent. Freedom. I want more time with my kids, I would say was prevalent to an extent as well. And I want stable side income. Security, not as prevalent. Validation, nobody was really talking about that. Status, nobody really cares about that when they're in the situation of trying to leave their 9-to-5. Control, that was important as well. Pride, there was not much mention of that. These were the top 3 mapped desires right here, right? So we can pick those up. These are examples from the actual offer. So I want to quit my 9-to-5. I want to control how I earn, and freedom and security. Those were the important ones. Now, I'm going to score all of these in the example, but what we would want to do is basically just go ahead and score the top ones. These scoring mechanisms here are the scoring mechanisms that are used to understand the strength of your mass market desire. Now, this is super, super, super important because oftentimes people don't know how to score and understand the strength of their mass market desire. Sometimes they don't even know what kind of desire that they're trying to have bleed through the advertisement that they have. So to break this down here, urgency is how badly is this felt right now. Staying power, and we're going to rank this 1 to 5. Staying power is will the desire persist over time, ranked 1 to 5. And scope, how many people feel it, 1 to 5. We take all the top ones. These were the ones that I was going to put in the table, but again, I scored all of them just to show for an example. Escape was very, very high. Urgency, people escaping the 9-to-5, very, very, very high. Will this desire persist over time? As long as you have that 9-to-5, it's not leaving. It's very, very high on the desire to persist, on this desire persisting over time. And how many people feel this? A lot of people. And so this one ranks at 15. You can go through all of these and you'll notice that obviously some of these things rank much lower as well, right? So they all got ranked here. And we're trying to find the one with the highest urgency, the highest staying power, and the highest mass appeal. What I've realized from this is that escape is the core desire that I want to bleed through in my advertisement again, okay? So this was a very important thing to understand, because if I had my advertisement speaking more about freedom and getting time and money and location freedom, that's not going to connect as well to my ICP as having the message of escaping the 9-to-5 bleed through to my ICP right away, right? So that's why this is important. If I tried to get someone to understand that their status could be improved, my ICP, when I'm trying to reach them, that they can be seen as a successful business owner, that is going to completely flop. And a lot of people do this. What actually bleeds through in their advertisement is the fact that they can have higher status, because people don't know what they're doing. But when they look at their ICP and they're trying to get status to bleed through in their advertisement, it completely flops, and it'll flop every single time. And then they don't know why their ad flopped. and I can go on. But the next thing that has to happen here is we need to make sure that the offer that we have believably attaches to that core desire. If people don't believe that they can escape their 9 to 5 with the offer that you have, then it's not going to do well either, right? So we need to make sure that our offer is going to fit this core desire here. If it can't believably fit escape, then we need to move down, and we don't want to be in a situation where we have one of these core desires ranking very low, because that will mean that it's going to be one of those offers where so many people try to do marketing for it, but it just doesn't end up selling. That's an offer that has a core desire that's ranking very, very low, okay? I want to get into nice to haves versus need to haves. This is the point that I'm starting to get across here. This is a need to have. The core desire for escape, if my offer shows that people can escape their 9 to 5, with this total ranking right here, that is a need to have. People need this. People do not need to improve status. My ICP specifically, does not need to improve status. It's not needed. It's nice if they can improve their status, but they don't need it. That's the difference between a need to have and a nice to have. Weak offers target soft optional desires. Nice to haves and winning offers are built on need to have desires that are emotional, urgent, and widespread. Now let's go back into your desire statement. This is your V2 of your desire statement. So we had our V1 before. We're going to use the same template, and now we're going to break this down. Based on what we know now, we're going to make another desire statement. So this is the second one. And what you'll notice right off the bat is this is going to bleed through. I'm messaging. The start of my message is always going to target people want to break out of their 9 to 5, right? They want to escape. I want that to seep through in my advertisement. That's so important. Now, 25% of you will realize that your offer is a nice to have. I've seen this breakdown where the core desire even starts, like the top one starts off at like 10, but if you realize that your core desire is ranking at like an 8 or a 7 or a 6, you have a nice to have offer. And that's the situation where all of these marketers work with you and you realize that nothing is working. Everybody's banging their head against the wall. It's not necessarily that your marketer totally sucks. It's the fact that you just don't have a desire for your offer. And a lot of marketers just completely overlook this because they don't know information on offers. 25% of you will realize that your messaging is off. So either you are not reaching the largest mass market desire or the believability of reaching your mass market desire is off. So either you're attacking something like, I'll just use this as an example because I already have it circled, status. If you're targeting status with your advertisements for the specific ICP that you're trying to reach, then your ads aren't going to be working. Also, if people don't believe that your offer can help them to escape their 9 to 5, then you have an offer and messaging problem as well. That's going to happen about 25% of the time. And we're going to get into how to improve your offer and messaging to really attach onto this core desire in the next few videos. But as of now, again, about 50% of you will realize that you guys have problems already. And if you do, go ahead and you can book a call down below with myself. I love offers that are difficult to scale because, again, my goal is to get my clients to 100K per month by cracking ads, and the difficult ones are the fun ones. So go ahead and book in a call with me and we can figure out a strategy. But the other 50% are going to realize that their V1 desire statement was actually pretty close to their V2 desire statement. And that's a good thing. So this means that you probably don't have an offer problem and you know now why your messaging is actually working. So two very good things here. You don't have an offer problem and you can start to understand why your messaging was actually working. Now, what we don't know is if you were actually able to get the core desire to bleed through in your advertisements. We'll look into that in the future videos here. But basically, this was the first very important thing that we just picked up was the core desire that we want to bleed through in our ad. Now we're going to go into different aspects of building out this hook here, and the next video here is awareness, so stages of awareness, and that is an awesome, very fun video. And so we're going to get into this second big thing that's going to unlock our ads in that video, so stay tuned and we'll jump into that video. I'm very excited for it. We'll see ya.